The one concern I have is the 2008 stock assessment of NOAA conducted found the fishery on track in terms of if you looked at the New England Gulf of Maine cod fishery, and yet the 2011 assessment showed it not on track. As you know, this created a big issue for fishermen in New Hampshire, a huge issue. In fact, it would eventually result in a 90% revenue loss for New Hampshire fishermen, killing the industry. As you know, all of our delegation on a bipartisan basis, both from Maine, New Hampshire, the New England delegation, in Massachusetts as well, wrote to you, wrote to the Secretary, urging you to set an interim measure for 2012. And I appreciate that NOAA appears to be moving forward on that interim action. But it raises the question, what happens in 2013 when these devastating reductions, if just the interim measure is put in place, what will happen where 90% of the fishermen, essentially in my state, will be killed? And it's a very noble pursuit, obviously. So a lot of questions it raises for me on how accurate and how can you ask the fishermen in my state to trust the stock assessments when you get such disparities, and also what are we going to do about 2013 to make sure we don't put them all out of business. Now I know my time's up, and I know that others are here, and so I appreciate, if you don't want to address this here, if you can address this for the record, because to me this is a core issue for the fishermen in my state.
Mr. Chairman, could I give just a very brief response?
Very brief, and then extend it into the record, but go ahead, and then I'll go to...
And then I can also follow up. Senator, this is an issue that has occupied a huge amount of our time and energy because it's so important. We have gone to extraordinary lengths to work with the fishermen in New England and try to help identify the options that are available to us. I think we are on path for options for this year because the law allows us some flexibility. You're absolutely right to focus on 13. That's going to be a major challenge. We will continue to do everything possible we can, including cooperative research to try to understand why there was a difference between those 2 years, and also to really understand what's out there. And to identify ways to lessen the economic consequences of this. We care deeply about the fishermen and the fishing communities that depend on them, and we'll continue to work with them on this.
Thank you very much.